Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I'm back this afternoon to show you some progress that I've made on my Summer Sunshine journal. It's made from the Summer Snippets mini collection from Shabby Art Boutique, and I have a link in the information below that takes you over to the Etsy store where you can purchase this digital kit if you want to make something from it yourself. The artwork is beautiful, soft, sweet colors and beautiful little children and strawberries and roses, and it's just beautiful. Okay, and I've gone over with you before kind of how I gathered everything to make this journal, and then we did some pockets made out of junk mail envelopes with the windows, and I did 5 of those that'll go on some of our pages. And today I've been working on the cover and about 6 tags. And when I finish showing you all this, that will be all I go through in detail. When I come back, I'll have it finished, and I'll go flip through the journal and show you all the pockets and pieces and how I put it together. So let me show you the cover that I did today. I just love the colors on this cover, and it went so well with some of the hand-dyed lace that my friend made for me, and so I was thrilled to death to get to use it. So I'll tell you what I did. The cover is made out of one of the kind of a collage sheet that is from the digital kit, and I decided that would be beautiful for the cover, and then the detail pictures would be inside. And so it had this beautiful rose up here in the corner, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't cover that up. The rest of everything is covered. This here is muted so that you can still see some of the design through. The first thing I did was glue down this kind of overall thin lace, a big piece that went flat on the bottom part of the page. I just glued it down where you can faintly see the muted colors under it. The next thing I used was this beautiful lace that my friend hand dyed in the pink. It's more kind of a apricot or peachy pink color, and it went perfect with the coloring in this kit. So I wanted to use it on here, and it wasn't quite long enough, so I put it here on the edge, and then I've put this up here in the corner to cover the fact that it doesn't go all the way to the top. When I glued it down, I had it come just slightly over the edge of the book. And then the next piece of lace was this across the bottom in the blue, so that I would have something for my little bird to be perched on. And the last piece of lace was, I glued this on the back side. It's a ruffled blue lace, and it's actually glued on the back side of the page to hang out on the front. Up in this corner, I wanted to use one of the circles and make kind of a framed focal point on this cover. And so I chose the little children eating their watermelon at a picnic, and I had these doilies. These are actually manufactured somehow, or maybe they're hand crocheted in a foreign country, but they're store-bought. And it was just the right size to frame this picture. So I glued it down first, and then I glued my picture on top of it. And in opposing corners here, I wanted to put these flower groupings. And I glued them down so that part of it was over this picture, and then the part that is hanging out over the doily here had to glue to the cover, and I used that foam, double sticky foam, and that gives it a layered look here in the corner. And I did the same thing down here. And then the final thing I did was use my pearls that come in little strips that stick on to finish out the frame. At the last minute, I decided to add a dangle here. I've just pinned it on. I thought about putting something up here, but I didn't want to cover this rose, so I didn't do that. But this has a couple of pieces of lace, a key, and my little heart that says made with love. I got a whole little box of those. I like to put them somewhere on my journals. At the bottom here, I just put a cluster of flowers, and then I glued the little bird on there with foam, the double sticky foam stuff, so he would be layered. And then his little feet are so tiny, I didn't want them to get broken off, so they are actually glued to this piece of lace here. And then I chose the word joyful out of my word box, and all little birdies need to be singing, so I drew the notes on there with a real fine Sharpie pen. So that's my cover, and I think I didn't plan on a closure here because I wanted to do it this way, so there's no place to put a closure. So what I think I'm going to do is have a ribbon that comes out from the back side here with something over it, and the same way in the back, and it will tie together on the sides. I'll have to keep that in mind as I decide what to do on the inside front and back cover. So that's my beautiful cover. And of course, when we're ready, we will sew all this together, and we'll have our binding here on this side. Now let me show you some of the little tags that I've decorated. The first one is the little boy and girl at the beach. And I put some of that real thin lace down this side here. And in the center of it, I put a piece of our cardstock. That's the pink polka dot, all the way down the center. And I put our shorebird here on top of that, so he's kind of layered on top of that. Then up here in this corner, I layered with some of my pink lace and some off-white cheesecloth, and the words "Joy comes in the morning." I used my little pearls to accent the corners, and then I had this tiny little piece of tatting left from something else where I had to cut off those two little pieces, so I stuck them on there. So we have 3 layers plus our words here in the corner. And this up here, this tie, is just something that was actually something was packaged with this ribbon tied around it, and I just slid it off. And so what I did when I put this on there, I fed it through so that the bow that was already tied would be in the front, and then the ribbon sticks up behind. That gives us our pull. And this will fit right down in one of our pockets. All of the journal cards are printed on the back. Tags are printed on the back so that there's plenty of room for writing. Okay, the next one is the little children eating watermelon. And I decided to make kind of a little angle pocket, and that's made out of one of our, I'm not even sure what it is. I think it's one of the pink papers. And I layered it with some lace, white lace, and then the peach lace that I had used on another one of the tags, cut to fit this corner. And then I layered it just with the watermelon and love. Put 3 of my little sparkly dots up here in the corner, and this is a pocket, so we have the little bird eating the watermelon. And one thing I forgot to mention, well, let me finish with this. This has lace tied at the top for our pull. One of the things I forgot to mention is that all of my flowers, I've used my sparkle pen, and it looks like this, and it has sparkly water or something up in there, and you just take this top off and squeeze it, and then you paint your sparkle on with the brush. And this doesn't show well for you to see it in the video. It may show up on the photographs, I'm not sure, but in person, it just gives a glimmer to certain things. And I have it on the flowers on the cover. And then I have it, I didn't use it on this, I don't think. I've got the word love down here from my word box and this little card. I've tried to keep the bottom parts of my tags, even though I decorated them, fairly flat so that they will go down in a pocket. The next one is our bicycle. And we have the bicycle scene with the picnic basket and all. And so I made a corner pocket out of the blue striped paper, and I added on the cupcake. Now the sparkle on this one is all the flowers are sparkly and the ice cream is sparkly. And this is cut from one of the long strips in that those papers. I cut those into pieces, and I may use some of the longer pieces for maybe a belly band or something in the journal, but I had cut these apart, and so I made this into a little journal card that slides in here, and it doesn't cover up this picture. I added a little lace to the side, and then some tatting, the blue tatting that my friend dyed for me. And then the pretty crinkled seam binding ribbon for the pull at the top. The next one, all of these flowers are painted with the sparkle pen. And all I did here was take some of my lace, and this is real fine flat lace. And I got a whole selection of this from Amazon. Inexpensive, and it's lasted me a long time. But anyway, I put that across there, a piece of my pink ribbon, one of the circles of the lady with the strawberries and the butterfly, and then I trimmed it with pearls. I added the words "You are awesome" with I cut a piece of the green polka dot behind it just to frame it. These flowers up here have glitter. And the pull is made out of this pretty satin ribbon. Okay, this one is not a pocket. I didn't make a pocket on this one. I just decorated it. I used some of our pink polka dot paper, and I don't know if you can see, I used my corner punch that makes the pretty corner on the corner that you could see. And then I ripped some sheet music to go in behind the picnic basket. And then over the top of that, I put some of the pink hand-dyed, nice flat decorative lace. It's about this wide. And then I put a picnic basket on top of that. Chose the words "Be joyful." I used one of the little tabs, and I wrote "picnic" in the little place to have something written in. And this is washi tape. I felt like it needed something up there at the top, so I have that kind of cottage looking washi tape. So I pulled it out and used it, and I glued on this bow. This one features the strawberries again, and what I did was I had a piece of contrasting paper here. It's a pink also, but it's a little diamond shapes instead of the dots that are up here, and it was about this wide, and so I put it there as a pocket, and I made sure that she would slide down in there. And then I put some lace seam binding at the bottom, and I put this large strawberry and flower piece of ephemera on top, so that it would be all on this front, even hanging down below the pocket. I chose the words Dance in the Rain and trimmed it with my pearls and used the circle of my beautiful lady with the hat and the butterfly as a journal card to go down inside. I almost didn't leave myself enough room, but it worked out. And that's that lace seam binding at the top. I think I got that at Hobby Lobby. And my last tag that I made is just one of the little ones. I wanted to do something on one of the little plain ones. And I just took one of the little squares from cutting those strips apart and made a tiny little square pocket down here at the bottom. And another piece of one of those strips, I just cut it apart and put it in there for a little journal card. The words make a difference. I put lace, white lace across here. You can still see the flowers muted through there, and trimmed it with pearls and tied up my ribbon at the top. And so there's quite a few other tags, and what I think I'll do is start doing the pockets and deciding where to put my these pockets that I made with the junk mail, and start placing that and decide where I want everything, and then decorate the other tags if I need to. So this is what we've gone through today, and it's so much fun to have. I have my little box of ephemera that I cut out. I have a little box of words, and I have two little trays. I'll show you these trays because they've been just perfect to use, and you can get them almost anywhere in stacks of 3 or 6, and they're the perfect size for this kind of thing. And I have some with little tiny scraps of ribbons and trim. I'll have 2 like that, and then I have one with just rolls of ribbon in it, and so I can have all that beside me and just pick out of it whatever hits me. I don't really plan these out or know what I'm doing before I get started. I just start pulling things in, and I've enjoyed adding the music and different things to these to add interest. So I hope you've enjoyed this today. Had a good time, especially with the cover. Just like with anything else, I just kind of played around with it. I have a whole pile of lace and pictures and things to choose from, and it just kind of, the concept just kind of came together as I was playing around with it, and I end up getting it kind of laid out like I want it, and then I start putting it together. I don't start out a journal with a whole plan for the whole thing. It just kind of evolves. It just evolves, and that's the creative thing that happens when you've been doing this for a while, and you have all these ideas that you've seen other people do, and they just kind of come to you. It's not like you have written down, you're going down a list of what you're going to do. It just kind of comes to you, and then you end up with something unique that is your very own creation. So I'm going to go off and get busy, not today, but probably tomorrow. Every day I think I'm going to get some housework done, and I sit down to do this for a few minutes, and then it takes me all day because I don't want to do housework. I want to do this. And I figure the housework it'll always be there waiting on me. So this is a lot more fun and fulfilling in my life right now. So I hope you're having a good day. It's a good day here in Kentucky, and I'll get busy on working on this so I can finish it up, and then the next video I do, I will be sharing the completed journal called Summer Sunshine. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.